I actually got a phone call from Bob McDonald from CBC's Quirks and Quarks, and he asked me whether or not adding milk to tea actually reduces the amount of staining on teeth. And this is something that's been around for a long time. People, dentists have recommended it for a long time, but there was actually no proof out there to show that this was actually effective. So I decided to use this project as an undergraduate project just to introduce some students to how to do research and what's involved, and without them having a lot of background knowledge. So I thought this would be a fun project for them to do and readily understandable, just so that they can understand some of the concepts that are involved in doing the research itself. What we actually found was that if you add milk to tea, it actually dramatically reduces the amount of staining that's on your teeth. Sort of to the same order of magnitude as you would have if you whitened your teeth. So what we did in this particular study was we put teeth in either tea or tea with milk added. And we incubated these teeth in the tea or tea and milk for 24 hours at 37 degrees. And after that, we actually measured the amount of staining that was on the teeth using this instrument, which is actually called a spectrophotometer. So it measures the amount and as well as the color of stain that's on a particular tooth. And we measured the tooth color both before as well as after the 24 hours of tea stain. And what we found was that adding the milk to your tea can actually reduce the amount of staining on your teeth to the same order of magnitude that bleaching your teeth can actually do. So we then went on to isolate which component of milk was actually responsible for reducing the staining of the teeth by incubating the teeth in solutions that contained individual components of the milk. So we incubated it with lactose, which is the carbohydrate that's found in milk. We incubated it with casein in the tea, which is the protein that's found in milk, as well as we incubated it in something without any of the fats that are found in the milk. So we used fat-free milk because it was very, very expensive to isolate fats to put it into the tea solution. And what we actually found from that is that it's the casein, or the protein component of the milk, that's actually responsible for the reduction in staining of the teeth by the milk when you add it to it. And in fact, black tea actually stains a little bit less than green tea, which is surprising to most people because when you look at the teas, the green tea is actually a lot paler than the black tea. But the staining factor, or the staining ability of green tea, is actually a lot higher. And in fact, when you look at the staining ability of tea, it's way up there. Oftentimes it's comparable to smoking, for example, in the amount of stain that it actually deposits on your teeth. A challenging question because adding milk to tea is actually a very culture-specific phenomenon. When I told my dad this, he actually thought I was absolutely insane because, again, it is very culture-specific and it's not something that a lot of cultures tend to do. Some other people will actually refuse to add milk to their tea because they drink the tea for their antioxidant properties. And when you add milk to tea, there have been some studies that actually show that adding milk will reduce the antioxidant properties of the tea, while other studies show a conflicting evidence. So some people, if they read those studies, they're not going to want to add the milk to their tea.